This day 411, the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you'd like to sponsor upcoming Shir or more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. We very greatly appreciate it. Today we are doing Siman Reish Ayin Zayin Seif Gimel to the Siman Reish Ayin Zayin Seif Ches. We talked yesterday about opening the door where there's a burning candle, and we said that the issue is not so much the wind created by the wind which comes into the door, but the wind created by the opening and closing of the door. When it's the prohibition of opening the door is only when you do it the normal way, which is with some gusto. But now, if you do it in a slow, calm way, it's permissible. That's when the wind is a normal wind. But if it's a strong wind, then it's definitely also because of the not the wind of the door, but the wind which comes from outside. So you can ask him, why do we not make a gzera in the case of a prevalent wind because of a strong wind? As we do, as we shall see, relative to a bonfire. I can say lo dami. You say it's not comparable. The medura she'eshu b'shetach gadol, by a bonfire where the fire is in a broad expanse. It's not possible. You won't cause it to ignite somewhat. But a candle where the light is small. If it's some distance from the door, it's not definitely it's going to be extinguished. It's enough that it should become forbidden. We should forbid it in ruach she'en mitzuya. But not to decree, not to make a decree on ruach mitzuya on a prevalent wind because on account of a wind which is not prevalent. As it says nearly, some we shall see. Rabbeinu explains that the scenario is one in which the candle is on the wall behind the door. When you open the door, no case because it hits the wall. It's possible when it hits the wall, it's going to cause the candle to, I guess, fall and become extinguished. According to him, the prohibition is only by opening. He says that it is the candles on the door itself behind it. Can also both know that it's also the opening for and close it. Because when you do either act, you bring the candle close, the oil closer to the wick. Igniting it, and you're igniting it. Oh, or machiko, you're distancing the oil from the wick, and you are extinguishing it. I shouldn't suggest that this is what the Rambam had in mind. Does when he wrote that a candle behind the door also leaves off and all it does. Now it's open and close the door the normal fashion. Because he extinguishes the candle. Rather, you should be careful at the time that he closes and opens the door. Meaning, doesn't mean you should be careful. You should be careful to open and close gently. That which she wrote because you're extinguishing, she's fitted the idea, neither because you also by moving, shaking the door with the candle, the oil distance itself is distant from the wick. But Magamish says that he's not going like the candle's on the door, but he's going like Ben Chanel, where the candle is behind the door. Budava Tema. Arukh was astonished at this. Because that's the case, why is it forbidden to close the door? If there's it's a but he doesn't make quite this interpretation. The only prohibition is by an oil lamp, not one of wax or tallow. As opposed to the previous ones, which are talking about mechab or mavir as a result of the wind. According to Halacha, all the interpretations are true. The question is how to interpret the Gemara. But in terms of actual halacha, there's no distinction. All these issues are legitimate issues. Mr. Brewer writes that And this goes back to what the Arukh HaShulchan really just said, that by opening and closing, the candle will be extinguished altogether. Then obviously it's a problem even by a wax candle. Hey, you should know, it says, if you have a candle which is behind the door, you can open and close the door, as long as you don't mind not to extinguish nor to ignite. But Rabbi Shmuel said about you forgot a candle there. And they cursed out the people who did such things. Can't curse Hashem. God should cut off a person who does this. Ad kan l'shoyne. Very perush. This is what it means to say. Posech v'noel menachas. You open and close gently. V'bachli skavin lo l'chabos l'avir. As long as you mind not to extinguish nor to ignite. Klor meaning shlei chavin lachik Hashem l'karvo. Meaning, in the standards you just saw, you shouldn't have mind to make the oil closer or further. We may look with the shiftach v'no kedarko avim secretion. What did he done? But if you do it, open and close it the normal way, then it's secretion. That's going to happen. So that's not going to happen. But Rav the Gam Zehu b'shochech. There's also where he forgot the candle there. We have to find some heter for him to open and close gently. If deliberately you left the candle behind the door and you lit it on Shabbos, meaning I assume you lit it before Shabbos, literally in that place, and then you open the door. Also, we curse you. Because you're very close to going to an Issa D'Oraisa. This we learn that when a person has a candle which is in a holder behind the door, you should not light that. You should not use that candle on Shabbos because of the issues of Mechaber Mavir. So long Hagah here. He said brackets. After they say this, Rabbi Shmuel says, Shashalanu Kuf Chafon base, light al Rav. Rav cursed the people who light behind the door. And it must mean that even to open and close gently would be a problem. The local holds the Yerushalmi argues in our Shas, and according to us, if it's a wax candle, you're allowed to open the door even if you left it there deliberately. Arukh seems to be more machmir here. Not really open that deliberately. Back to Arukh HaShulchan. Not supposed to double asar and sham. That when you put it down deliberately, it comes a bus. This is double asar. Who negative rotation comes against the toises who borrow who kamosh kosabnu, and it's clear what we wrote. The Taz Yikon Beis Kosa the Peiros the Lumani Yiftachlim Obenachas. Taz, according to this interpretation, it doesn't work to open and close gently. This is contradicts Rambam which you wrote down. For the Menachas Mutzah, where it's clear that doing it gently is permissible. The Gam Shekos B'Shulchan Aruch the Peiros Rabbi Yochanan the Gam Ne'ilah Asur. Also, Shulchan wrote that according to Rabbi Yochanan, also the close forbidden. Christ Yulav Abach Magavros Yukot and Dalit. Abach Magavrom reject that premise. Where it says the Pri Megadim wanted to explain the Mechaber that you say about when you're closing with strength. Through this, the wall shakes and it'll come to extinguish. And that's meaning that some of the oil will jump away from the wick. Okay. Vav. Ner something al shulchan b'leil Shabbos. The chalon k'negdam. You have candles which are on the table and have Shabbos and opposite a window. Also, if you Shabbos, you can't open the window Shabbos. Shloi chaban ruach. So that the wind does not extinguish them. But even if it's a prevalent wind, it's also the zelkamon ner shachaydel's perush Rashi. Because this is like a candle behind the door, according to Rashi. We know mutter. The Rambam also parts lesser, but not to. But to open is okay. To close is okay. To close the, I say close the door. To close the windows, okay. And even though we see quite clearly that when the windows open, the candles burn more stronger because of the wind. And when you close the window, because they don't burn so strongly. It's not going to be extinguishing. It's interesting. The amount of fire is the same. By the wind, it burns more strongly. Okay? Because it's the same fire, it's just a bit stronger. I really understand the physics here. And the prohibition is on opening it that they shouldn't completely go out because of the wind, but not that they shouldn't be modulated. That's what they was not distant from the window. But if this is from the window, let's not have a problem. We see that the masses are not concerned with this. It was in the summer when it's hot. Post by the open the windows at night. The time in the meal, they show so have some fresh breeze. You can't do it. Wow. And the bracket says, maybe we could be down the kafschus. The came the ikar is some mishum gzeras ruach she'ena mitzuya. The primary prohibition is because of ruach she'ena mitzuya. And in the summer, you don't usually have non-prevalent winds. As opposed to a bonfire, which is to heat oneself opposite it. That then there are all sorts of winds which are blowing around at that time. So therefore, since the Xer is because of Ruach Mitzuya, Xer to keep the windows closed only apply in the winter, not in the summer. Zion. Also liftoach deles keneged amdura. You're not allowed to open the door opposite a bonfire. Shikor says this, which is somewhat close to the door. The ruach heviras amdura. The bonfire, the wind will ignite the bonfire. Sharuach yechazak maod when the wind is very strong. Therefore, even if there's only a prevalent wind, because we make a decree. Let's come to open it when it isn't a strong wind. Even though Ruach She'ena Mitzuya is not Shchiach by definition. Ruach is not prevalent, it's not prevalent. That's why it's called Ruach She'ena Mitzuya. Come to Gazol L'Baseh. Nevertheless, they made a decree. Fly the Medula, or Simbi Mosag Sham L'Chame Negdo. Perhaps because you make a bonfire during the winter time to heat yourself opposite it. And at that time, there are lots of winds and storms. But to close the door which is open opposite the bonfire mutter, and there's no issue of extinguishing. Even those who forbade opening is closing an oven, here they permit it. The body says in houses there's a lot of air. It's not like an oven, I ain't shove. But that which you wrote according to Rashi, the primary prohibition is because you might come to allow a strong wind in the Ruach She'ena Mitzuya, because you have to see basis, see gimel, chem, see vav, like run all those places. Leave door chalon connected in air concerning opening window opposite the candle. Because we wrote that the problem is because of Ruach She'ena Mitzuya. The Bach writes the same thing about Rashi. Rabbeinu Farish prepares Rashi. The law of a psik reisha of a Ruach She'ena Mitzuya. It's only psik reisha that it's going to ignite or extinguish when it's a Ruach She'ena Mitzuya. But the Gazrinan b'chulei k'mo medura. When you exert by candle, just like you exert here by the bonfire. Hakol Shalom. But Yisrael Misha Kosav the Bener also meikar din afiyu Ruach Mitzuya. Those who say that by candle, it's also no matter what, even if it's a prevalent wind. Evidently, because the candle gets easily stirred. But the Arukh HaShulchan doesn't like this. Astounding. The Magen Avraham writes this. Lower easy. I didn't say any posuk shizbor who holds this way. And then Gam who Kosav. The Magen Avraham also wrote the Kshein Ruach Kla Matar Ben Ramah Sham. The Ramah allows you to open and close the door. The Mishnah brings down, like we said before, that if by closing the door or by banging the door you make a Ruach Mitzuya, then the Chiduran seems to say that it's Osir. That we didn't say before. But anyway, I think we did. The Bagi Avram, who says that Ramah is matir by in case where there's no ruach at all, he argues and he says no good. But I guess going to Ramah. You can also be in line with close. And those who are not concerned with opening a candle opposite the window opposite the candle. I guess because there is no wind at the moment, and that's a dematic. Much time see above. Back to brackets here. Magen Avram Adam Bedin the Simon Din the Simon le the Sham. He makes a linkage between this Simon and that Simon. The duration of test by an oven. And it's like the end demon cloud. There's also not agree with this linkage. The Sham Omer Amola Amid and no, these no. It's about a candle versus a bonfire. The Sham Omer Amola Amid and Shali Iron Sham. The Ramah says you can put a candle there in a place where there's wind. But Yontiv Mari Sham, and he's talking about Yontiv coming out of Metal near Lachutz. And it means that you can take a candle outside. We said, in that case, even a prevalent wind will extinguish it. There, take outside, any ruach will extinguish it. But here, inside, ruach mitzuyah is not extinguished, and therefore we don't make any zera, even ruach mitzuyah, unless you come to ruach she'en mitzuyah. Ches. You put a candle on a tablet, also term for a table, or on top of a table, or gabi table, or on top of a box, mibod yom, from before Shabbos began. You didn't have mind really to leave it there, but you forgot to remove before Shabbos. Before the nightfall. Now you need the place the candle was to use on Shabbos. Menaris the tablet, you can shake the tablet, or shulchan, or the table, or table, or the box. And the candle falls on the ground. And you can take those boxes, etc., any place you want. When you forget something on top of something else, even that something on the top of something else was also muktzeh, it doesn't make it become a basis unless you deliberately leave it there. As long as you don't mind to extinguish a candle. Then if it does go out, we hold is permissible. So it says the Maril seems to say that if a non-Jew is there, what? I guess you do by non-Jew, but if there's no non-Jew, you should probably by a cotton, even though Arukh HaShulchan seems to be matter by Godel as well. Bialoch says if the candle went out, if the candle already went out, then Yisrael is mutzar lichatchila to shake the tablet, and even if it's not so gently, you don't see there's such big kiddush. It's out. Okay, back to Arukh HaShulchan. Uvachis kaim lechabes nebenir zevin tischab already davishmis. Kavin aim is a secret. I'm secret. If sheti bol there, let chaber can fall and not go out. Zel bener shel Shabbos shel chayv. This talk about a wax or tallow candle. I feel b'shel shemen even oil candle. Rak she'en od shemen baner, but there's no oil left. Rak upsil like it's only the wick is burning. Dil yeshem shemen because there's oil there. Also now I to shake it. Because then the oil will definitely shake. And then it's going to become extinguished or lit. But it's inevitable. Certainly if you remove oil directly, it's mechaber. Nevertheless, by a non-Jew, it's permissible to remove the oil. Anytime, it's interesting. Any secretion is mutter by an Eino Yehudi. There's not a situation in Gimel. But Emlach, which is a getter of Psikresha, is not a problem for the guy to do it for us. What's that situation in Gimel? also by a wax or tallow candle. It's better to do by a non-Jew. It's easy to get one for Lo Marlo and to tell him what to do. Mishnah Berurah says on this. Mishnah Meiri says that when you can shake it off, if it's late, you have to shake it off gently, because otherwise it's a psik ratio. If you need the entire place of the tablet, or shulchan b'table, or the table, or the box, you can remove it with the candle on top of it. They tilt me outside, it carrying something not in the normal fashion, for something which is with the purpose. Mutter, such thing as mutter, which is bar b'simon shin test. Mishnah Berurah says that when you move the table, if you are moving it gently, it's permissible even if there's a oil candle there, because there's no psik ratio.